presentation of CST. For a franchise desperate for some good news, yesterday the news was great for the future of the Hornets in New Orleans.
Great news today, as you all know. We announced that there's been an agreement in principle between the state of Louisiana and the New Orleans Hornets on a long-term lease extension, which would contemplate the team remaining in New Orleans for a very long time.
Tonight, New Orleans takes on New Jersey on your home of the Hornets, CST. It's a great day in New Orleans. Not just the city, for the Hornet fans as well. Exciting news you've been waiting for regarding the future of the team in the Big Easy. We, of course, are live at the Prudential Center in downtown Newark, New Jersey tonight, where Cox Sports Television proudly presents New Orleans Hornets basketball tonight. It's the only meeting of the season between New Orleans and New Jersey. Very pleasant good evening, everyone. Bob Lick alongside Gil McGregor. So glad you could join us tonight for the Hornets' fourth game in the last 6 days. But actually, over the last 24 hours, the big news has been off the court. Yesterday, Governor Bobby Jindal and the Hornets announced a deal in principle that would keep the Hornets in New Orleans through 2024. Now, that, of course, is contingent as we take a look, Gil, at the details of the arrangement. It's due to the completion of the NBA sale of the team to a new owner, as well as legislative approval. All that has to happen first, but it's a great day for Hornet fans and New Orleans.
Oh, Bob, I'm telling you, I'm excited. I got this big grin on my face. I'm so happy for our fans who worked so hard buying the season tickets, hoping that all this would come true. I'm so very happy for the city of New Orleans. They will have the Hornets home. It would be called home until 2024 at least. And during that agreement, at least, I said at least one more All-Star game, maybe more, where the city of New Orleans and their fans can show the whole world how it's supposed to be done, just like we did the last one.
No question about it, Gil. At the announcement yesterday, Hornets team president Hugh Weber expressed the opinion and desires of all Hornet fans.
Today is a spectacular day. It is a day that our fans have been asking for years. And I think that the idea of not being able to bring up the word benchmark or attendance thresholds or all of those things really is a sigh of relief for all of our fans. I've talked to thousands of fans over the last few years, and they've literally felt like someone was always looking over their shoulder as to whether this was their team or not. And so I'm in for good. And that's why today should be a day that we collectively celebrate.
Tremendous, exciting day for Hornet fans and for the city of New Orleans, as well as the state of Louisiana after all that happened over the last 24 hours. Yeah, I'm in for good. We're all in for good. Hornets in New Orleans, long-term, big-time announcement for the New Orleans Hornets. Getting ready for the Bees and the Nets next on them.
Of keeping the Hornets right where they are.
It's a big day for the state of Louisiana and the city of New Orleans. The governor of the state realizes the importance of rebuilding New Orleans. The role that sports plays is a leading indicator on how the city does.
Or after the team was purchased by the NBA, there was talk about how we could secure the team's future long term. And one of those key components, of course, is getting a long-term lease that allows the team to be successful. Ron touched on many of the objectives, but our first goal was to get a long-term agreement that would eliminate the exit options, that would require the team to be here for a long duration of time. We've not only eliminated the exit options, but we've eliminated the inducement payments and secured the team's future through 2024.
It's important to note there'll be a savings of over $72 million to the state of Louisiana in its general obligation budget to what we have today, and that makes this a win-win.
One reason why this plan can be put in place was the efforts of the fans with the I'm In campaign. That laid the foundation and the groundwork to get to where we are now. And just like the streetcars rolling down Canal into St. Charles, the Hornets will be at the high. So the excitement's there. And now let's get ready for tip. It's the Hornets and Nets next on CST.
Are ready for our starting lineup tonight, brought to you by 7-Up. Be yourself, be refreshing, be 7-Up. For the Bees, they have Kamen at center, and of course he's had back-to-back 20-point games. Gustavo Ayllón, 20 a start as a Hornet, and Ariza, your steals leader, under Monty Williams. As far as the New Jersey Nets are concerned, D. Will back in the starting lineup. He missed the last 4 with a strained right calf. He's in the top 10 in both scoring and assists. Brooks, his backcourt mate, second leading rookie scorer. Humphries, you know a lot about, maybe off the court, but on the court, he's 6th in the league in rebounding. Those are your 7-Up starting lineups. Monty Williams, after losing all 3 on the last homestand, looking for a W on the road against New Jersey. The Hornets in search of their 11th win. A former teammate of Monty's is Avery Johnson. After 4 years with Dallas, he's in his 2nd season with the Nets. Gil McGregor now to take a look at our keys of the game, brought to you by Toyota.
Thank you, Bob. You want a good start against these guys. They've only come from behind twice in 13 games at home to win. You want to get a good defensive focus. They're 1 in 10 at home, shooting under 44%, and defend their threes. 1,104 points from threes, 27% of their scoring from behind the arc.
We'll update those Toyota keys for you at halftime. All-time series, Hornets lead it by 4, and in fact, the Bees have won 7 of the last 10 against New Jersey. 3-man officiating crew tonight: Monty McCutcheon, Kane Fitzgerald, and Derek Richardson. Monty McCutcheon has the ball, ready to toss it up here from the Prudential Center. And that will happen between Humphries and Kamen. Humphries wins the tip. Darren Williams controls, and the Nets see their star point guard for the first time in 5 games.
You wonder how that calf will let him run and what happens when he cools off. Can he restart himself?
First shot of the ball game, no good by D. Will. And the Hornets control. On the road this year, the Hornets 6-15.
New Jersey, not a good defensive team. They allow 99 points per game and 47.5% shooting.
A charge called against Kamen as we take a look at our Ochsner and active list. Ochsner Healthcare with peace of mind. Eric Gordon has played just twice for the Hornets. He is on this road trip. Farmar, James, and Brooke Lopez all out for the Nets. As far as Brooke Lopez is concerned, he's now missed 8 straight with the sprained right ankle. Remember, he missed 32 games earlier this season with a broken right foot. There's a steal. Ariza has it. Hornets in transition, but Williams deflects it to the near sideline to prevent the fast break.
Well, that shows you what a little bit of pressure can do, and maybe the Hornets can apply that pressure again to see if Darren Williams can cut on that bad calf. He's as quick as he normally is.
Ariza being defended by Gerald Wallace, who arrived here today, joins the team and is in the starting lineup. Rebound is grabbed by New Jersey, and in transition, laying it up and in, is Sheldon Williams.
He's ran by everybody. I think they lost sight of him. They were close to him, but they didn't see him get out in front. Can't have that happen on a fast break.
Jerry Jack defended by D. Will, feeding Belinelli for the bucket. His first shot of the ball game is down, and we're tied. 2-2 your score. A little more than a minute played here in Newark. Humphries banks it in. Much improved ball player. His career averages coming into this season, Gil, 5.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per, but he averages a double-double. Here's Ariza for 3. Knocks it down and gives the Hornets the lead, 5-4.
Maybe a high-scoring game. The net is up, and that one of the ball boys took it down. So the Hornets need that net down before they get the ball back in the front court.
Yes, they do.
Close your shot off.
Always did mine. I could never jump up there and knock it down. I had to do that with the ball. D. Will for 3. And he's one of the best in the league. That is his 94th made 3 on the season. Only one player has more than him. There's a steal by Brooks. Running the floor, Humphries with him. And Brooks will finish. Second leading rookie scorer in the NBA.
We talked about Darren Williams, D. Will as he's called. If his calf is hurting, he's disguising it well.
Jarrett has it against him. Bounces to Ariza. Shoveled it for Kamen in a turnover. Williams in transition. Lobs the alley-oop up for Wallace. And Wallace scoring his first points with New Jersey on the alley-oop.
And that's how he's going to have to score for a few weeks until he learns their offensive system.
It's a 9-3 Nets run.
Hornets going to take better care of the basketball. We talk about it all the time. On the road, you just cannot turn it over.
Jarrett Jack using Kamen's screen for the pull-up. Jarrett Jack, just a simple two-man game up top, gets his first bucket.
And the thing about it, Bob, is when the Hornets don't turn it over, they get good looks, they score. So that's why the turnover is so troubling. Not only are you giving up points, you're not getting points that you can get against a team that's not a good defending team.
This is Brooks. The Hornets want to run it back the other way. Trailing by 4. This is Jarrett, floater. Won't stay in. Humphries with a rebound. Baron Williams going to pull up, straight away Trey. Humphries tries to save it, knocked it off a Hornet, but Jarrett Jack gets the deflection. Jarrett free for 3. And knocks it down. So Jarrett with 5 early points and brings the Hornets to within 1.
And this may be a game where neither team decides to play a whole lot of defense.
You're basing that on early return?
Yes, indeed.
Wallace feeds Williams. Now Brooks off the dribble against Belly. Gave it up to Sheldon Williams, who scores. The former Duke Blue Devil, who is the only net to play in every game this season.
And he's playing the center position. He's really not a center as far as size is concerned. In fact, they don't have the size at center. You should take advantage of it.
No, not with Brook Lopez out. Humphries, though, grabs that rebound. Having Humphries next to you takes a lot of rebounding pressure off of you in the middle.
What are you, 6'9"?
Yeah, Williams 6'9", about 250. Here's Wallace for 3. He must have looked at the stat sheet.
He needs another shot.
wants to join the 3 party here in Newark, New Jersey.
They came into this game making 368 threes, 198 more threes than the Hornets have made. More than twice as many than the Hornets have 170 made threes. 171 now, I'm sorry.
That's Kamen's first bucket of the ball game. Hornets within 1 again. Now he defends Sheldon Williams. Gerald Wallace came over on a deadline beating deal. Williams thought he was going to create some contact there. Maybe a year ago he would have gotten that, but this time it's out of bounds.
Well, they don't do that anymore. They don't do it anymore. Gerald Wallace getting out in the fast break opportunity for a bucket, and we said for the next 4 or 5 days or a week, that's how he's going to have to score.
Wallace denied Ariza at the baseline, so Belly gets the pass and drops in a 3-ball.
Deny is kind.
Belly's club leading 66 3-pointer. Timeout for Avery Johnson. With 6:19 to go. And the New Orleans Hornets back on top of the New Jersey Nets. As Ariza didn't have a shot, he knew Belly did. Marco Belinelli adding to the early offensive structure of this game with a 3. The Hornets have a 2-point lead over the Nets, and time for us to welcome in the man with the green tie, 3rd member of our crew, Victor Howell.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, Bob. Just over my left shoulder here, you'll see Jason Smith in a warm-up suit, and that's a great sign because we haven't seen that in the last 20 games. Remember, he got hit not once, but twice in the head in the game against the Detroit Pistons on the road, and he has been out of action since then because of concussion-like syndromes. Well, for the last week, he's been working out with the team, and the good news now, he is active and has a chance to play tonight for the first time since that game in Detroit. And Bob, I remember you and I both talked to him when he had to leave the floor because of the lights in the arena. That's how much it was bothering him with those new NBA rules. It's good to see him make his way back to the team.
Victor, it was as recent as 2 weeks ago when he had to stop working out with weights because it made him dizzy and gave him just a horrible headache. And he says the improvement over the last 2 weeks has been phenomenal. And he was cleared by a neurologist to play today if Monty Williams decides to use him. Trevor Ariza in transition, lays it in, and the Hornets go up 4.
That was a well-run fast break by the club.
This is Humphries. Step back against Kamen, and he delivers the jumper. certainly on my list of some of the most improved players in the league. No question about it.
Okay.
I mean, playing time helps. But
Always.
but his game is much more developed on both ends. Here's Ione. Goose delivers on his first bucket. His 20th start as a member of the Hornets, really getting comfortable in that starting power forward slot.
And that little mid-range jumper baseline really makes him doubly dangerous.
Sheldon Williams just banked it in and also gets the call on a block. Has a chance at a three-point play.
Now this is about as far away as you're going to see Sheldon Williams take a shot. This is his range, about 2 to 3 feet. I'm just saying.
Yes, you are. Sheldon Williams comes in averaging 4.8 points per game, 45% field goal shooter. From the line, he's 73%. And we'll try to forget about what happened to Duke last night while he takes his free throw.
You forget about it. I'm not.
No, you're not. And Williams completes the three-point play. 7 for Sheldon Williams on 3 for 3 from the field.
Sheldon Williams.
Jarrett Jack. Pass almost intercepted by Gerald Wallace, one of the better defenders in the NBA.
And he probably brings as much to New Jersey in terms of the things they need because of his defense as anything else.
This is Belinelli. In and out, no good, as Jason Smith was challenging for that rebound, couldn't come up with it. Great to see Jason on the floor.
Yes, it is.
As he helps out on D-Will, now picks up Sheldon Williams. Jason Smith, number 14, in case you forgot, he missed the last 20 games after suffering the concussion in Detroit. As Victor was saying, he got 2 blows to the head in that ball game.
It's just great to know that he's okay. I mean, I'm glad to see him back on the floor playing and what he can do to help the team, but I'm just glad to see that he is okay.
Off the baseline, out of bounds, catch and shoot by D-Will's no good. Jarrett Jack trying to take it the distance, dumps it off for Smith, and the dunk. Welcome back, Jason.
Yeah, and another good fast break by the Hornets with Jason running the floor. Big man getting out and running.
D-Will deep underneath, kick. Ends up in Brooks's hands, and he is fouled. Both Belinelli and Smith, I think, made contact after the Gerald Wallace pass.
The foul's on number 14,
Jason running the floor on the fast break. Jarrett Jack rewarding him for running the floor, and he gets the dunk. You know he's got hops. You used to see him.
I asked Jason what his biggest concern was, and he said no question it's conditioning, although he says he's done a lot of work.
Yeah.
He says it's just not the same as being in a game.
No, because you've got to add the element of stress to the fatigue, the stress of trying to be in the right place, do the right thing. You factor that in with your fatigue, and it takes a little more out of you.
I asked him what he missed the most. You'll be shocked at his answer. Hitting guys. He said coming into this year, he was making a concerted effort to be a more physical player, because that was one of the scouting report notes on him, that he wasn't that physical. So he was definitely doing that this season, but how about that after coming back from a concussion?
Yeah, I thought he would have said getting hit by guys.
Yeah.
I would have put that number 1. Maybe 1A would have been hitting guys, but getting hit might have been 1 for me.
Hornets up 1 after the made free throw by Brooks. Here's Ariza. 4 minutes left, quarter number 1 here in Newark, New Jersey. The Nets and the Hornets only meeting of the season, and Jarrett Jack's pass through the hands of Smith and out of bounds. Turnover number 4 against New Orleans.
His timing has to be a little off. He hasn't been out there. It's just totally different. You know, working out by yourself or and being on the floor in a game, that's just 2 different things.
And we should mention that he's playing center right now because Goose is also on the floor. It's a position that he played some for Monty Williams early in the year, but his normal position is power forward. Jarrett Jack worked around the screen, feeding Belly for 3. No. Jason Smith crashing the boards, but cannot come up with the loose ball, and it's out of bounds to New Jersey.
You know, and it's good to see that the Hornets are looking and taking open threes, but you just have to be careful that you don't do what the other team does. It's in their DNA, it's in the way they play, so you have to be careful that you don't do what they do.
How hard is it to prevent yourself from doing it?
I think it's difficult. You know, I think, you know, who sets the tone and the pace of a ball game sometimes sets the way the game is played.
Anthony Morrow put it on the floor and drops in a 2-ball, one of the most dangerous three-point shooters in the league.
You know, his nickname is Drano.
Really?
Yeah.
I can understand that. We have seen him light it up. It was usually when he was with Golden State.
Well, that's how only could be on the team.
Here's Ariza drawing contact and earning a trip to the line. Looks like they tagged Johan Petro, the former Denver Nugget, former Seattle Sonic.
No, he's a guy who I expected to probably be playing a little bit better in the NBA than he's playing right now, Johan Petro. Because I saw him early on and I thought, he's got a lot of potential.
Right. Actually, they whistled the foul on Wallace, and it will be his first. And we'll get some substitutions from Monty's crew. Vazquez comes in for Jared Jack, and Xavier Henry in for Marco Belinelli. So it's Smith on the floor along with Ariza, Vazquez, Henry, and Ione. Off the miss, a whistle. We have a lane violation against New Orleans. I think it was against Goose. So it'll be sideline out in their backcourt for New Jersey. We saw one of those in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and the scores tape gave it to Jason Smith.
Really?
They said on Jason Smith.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's get the right license number. There's a jumper from the left-hand side by Jerry Smith, who became the 5th D-League player to appear for the New Jersey Nets last night in their loss in Orlando, 86-70. He was a teammate of Jeff Foote, the Hornets reserve center in the D-League. Ariza drills the 3. So right now, the Hornets liking what they see from above the arc. They've made 4 of their first 5.
And conversely, as we say, what a team does, you don't want to act like them. But it's amazing how teams allow to happen to them what they like to do to other people. What is a fast breaker shooting 3?
Ball deflected, intercepted. Ariza's shot is blocked by Wallace. Monty Williams furious. There was no whistle on a goaltend or a foul or both. Ariza misses after the Hornets retain possession. Morrow throw ahead. Wallace saves it to Humphries. And the rebound is in the hands of Ione.
Coach wants the guys to push it. He wanted him to push it before the defense got set.
Smith, turnaround. Humphries has another rebound. That's 4 for him. Came into the ball game 6th in the NBA, averaging just under 11 rebounds per contest.
Well, when your teammates shoot as many threes as they shoot here, there should be some rebounds to be had.
There's Morrow from downtown. Anthony Morrow out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Went to Georgia Tech. He's now got 81 threes on the season. He's got 7 off the bench for New Jersey. But how about the good news of the return of Jason Smith? For the first time in 21 games, he returns from concussion, slams in his first points since his return.
The three-point shooting, the Hornets 4 of 6 from behind the arc, 66.7%. And you see him knocking them down. The 3 represents only 13% of the Hornets scoring on the season. Whereas for the Nets, it's 27%. But right now, the Hornets doing a better job. 4 of 6, while the Nets are 2 of 6 from behind the arc.
Big time from downtown. Jason Smith. Brings the Hornets back within 3. Smith has the only 4 bench points thus far for New Orleans. Henry trying to stay in front of Morrow. You've got to go belly to belly with him. Great shooter. Comes up short that time. Ione cannot hold on to the loose ball, however. And New Jersey maintains possession.
Even great shooters have a little more difficulty when there's a hand in their face. It changes things sometimes tremendously.
Lance Thomas just checked in for Ione. Aminu reported in during the timeout for Monty Williams. Petro off the baseline out of bounds, gives it back to Smith. From the Louisville standout. This is Humphries, far from the hoop, 12 on the clock. 40 seconds to play in the quarter. Gerald Green on the floor, got the pass, and we got the foul on Humphries, offensive foul.
Offensive foul, number 43, Chris Humphries is forced.
It'll be Hornets basketball. They'll try to get 2 for 1 now with 39 seconds to play in the quarter.
We talk about when you set that screen, you cannot be extra movement. You've got to be perpendicular with your hands crossed in front of you and not move your body in. You lean your shoulders or lean your waist, it's going to be a foul on you.
Vasquez brings front, but I mentioned Gerald Green. It's a name you'll probably hear a lot. He's been playing at a very high level for the Nets. Smith misses from the left side. And Jerry Smith brings it front court for New Jersey. Looks on Vasquez. Behind the Williams screen, misses. Rebound deflected off of Jason Smith into the backcourt. 12 seconds to play in the quarter. And Avery Johnson gets up, the New Orleans native, and says, play for the last shot, guys. Morrow, one dribble. Pull up. Rims out at the buzzer. And the Hornets will be down 3 after 1 here in New Jersey with a lot of storylines for the Bees. Great news from back home. Great news north as Jason Smith returns from his concussion. And great news from three-point range. Belly hitting a couple of bombs already in this one. But New Jersey has a 3-point lead.
So good now because the conversations for a lot of years by a lot of people who had genuine concern, is the team going to stay? Is the team going to stay? Well, really resounding yes. That can be answered now. We're talking about an agreement, and the numbers are 20-24.
Love it.
Yes, this team will be right there.
We've played one quarter here in New Jersey so far. Hornets down 3, but with the ball. Vasquez fakes the 3, drives for 2, no. Jerry Smith getting a lot of floor time for Avery Johnson. New Jersey and New Orleans have had the most injuries of any teams in the NBA this season. They've had the most different starting lineups, the most different number of players who have started this season. And obviously very reflective in their record. There's Gerald Green with the fallaways in the last day of his second 10-day contract. General Manager Billy King has already mentioned it publicly. They want to sign him for the rest of the year and hopefully next year too.
Wow.
He has been kind of a revelation coming up from the D-League, the former third-round draft pick, who I think has matured, and his game is reflective of that. Humphries will return. He'll replace Petro. Almost a minute into quarter number 2. Take a look at Gerald Green. His 26-point game versus the Rockets, #1 from a D-leaguer who's been called up to the NBA. Lance Thomas is 18 in Denver, second on that list.
Lance got to the free throw line so much that night. He was driving to the basket. I think Gerald Green's supposed to jump shooter, huh?
Yes, he is, and an above-the-rim guy. There he is, faking from 3 land against Aminu. Fall away is good. He was a real focus during shoot-around today. He has, coming into this one, 4 consecutive double-digit scoring games. I think he's led him in scoring 5 consecutive ball games. So really, really tough ball play. So far, it's off the bench, 2 for 2. Aminu ducks in, kicks out. Vasquez for 3. Long rebound, chased down by Lance Thomas.
That's good work. Prolong the possession.
Vasquez with the screen, got fouled by Green, earns a trip to the line. Let the official know you're getting fouled. That's my rule.
That's exactly right. Just because it's St. Patrick's Day and your last name is Green doesn't mean you're going to get away with anything.
No, you're not. Number 14.
I'm just saying.
Out of Gulf Shores Academy in Houston. And not one of those guys that you hear mentioned in that high school to the pros conversation too much, but he's trying to change that.
Yeah.
Now Jason Smith comes out. Gustavo Ayón replaces him. Smith, in his first game back from the concussion, 7 minutes, 2 for 4, 4 points.
That's good to see. It's just good to see him back. Had some production. He's glad to see it. And hopefully he's feeling fine. Hope that is no way bothering him with his minutes and his time on the floor.
I've never seen anybody chomping at the bit to get back in the lineup more than Jason. Gerald Green with the jump feed. And the jump shot, no good. Jordan Williams. One of several rookies. Nice cut by Ayón for the lay-in.
And a pretty good pass from Al Farouk Aminu. And we've seen the Hornets get out and run the fast break quite well.
The Hornets have made 12 shots tonight, Gil. 11 of them have been assisted on.
That's good movement of the basketball. Offensive efficiency.
Jerry Smith. This is Humphries. Working on Ione. Got some baseline help. Out of the corner, a three ball is put in by Gerald Green. And Green now with 7 on 3-for-3 shooting.
I thought it wasn't easy being Green. It doesn't make it look like it's very difficult.
Here's Xavier from the left elbow. Humphries cleans up his 6th rebound at a half. This is Marshawn Brooks kicking out to Jerry Smith. Now Green working on Aminu. Wow. Ended up out of bounds, forced that shot up and got the whistle. We'll see if it's 2 or 3 for Green when we return. I don't think Monty liked that decision on the whistle in any way, shape, or form. Let's take on NBA All-Stars Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. Great seats still available at the Hive. And remember, all fans in attendance receive a Hornets rally towel courtesy of Janny King. Our BuzzFest pregame block party tips off the action outside at 5:30. You know about BuzzFest, live music, dollar beers, and for the kids, interactive games. Plenty of action outside the arena. Get inside by calling 504-525-HOOP or dial up Hornets.com on the net. Order your tickets for next Thursday.
That's the opposite of three-point shooting.
What's
the
that?
Clippers.
Okay.
You want to see the other side of the coin.
Lob City.
Yes,
coming to the Big
indeed.
Easy on Thursday. They won yesterday, but they had dropped, I believe, 4 in a row. Really struggling there. The other LA team at the Staples Center. They're still the other team, despite what you might read.
They're going to be for a while until they win something. I mean, other than, like 1 of the 2 games they play against them. You shut out that lob, they're going to start making some shots.
Gerald Green has had an early impact on this game. He already has 9 points in 4 minutes off of New Jersey's bench. 3 for 3 from the field, including a 3, and 2 for 2 at the line.
And Bob, when the Clippers look up, you know who they see? The Lakers.
The Lakers.
That's right. As long as they look up and see the Lakers, they'll be the other team.
That's right. Here's Aminu. Jumping it up and in. Al Farouk Aminu. That is his first bucket of the ball game. Long range, too.
Had a nice assist on the fast break. Watch out.
Oh, my. D. Will with a lob. And did you see what Gerald Green tried to do? Just kind of bat that thing up as he was getting fouled. And he says that's a shot attempt. I didn't catch it first. And Avery Johnson in disbelief that they didn't get the call.
I'm trying to say it's the same thing as a tip in after a missed shot.
Probably got a good point. What do you think?
Should have been a shot. He wants to get a tip in. You can't tip in a pass. Now, I guess he didn't have control. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
So it can't be a shot if you don't have control.
He just got fouled on the way up there.
That's it.
Here's Gerald Green. Ball fake on Aminu. Ducks under. Not shy, is he?
Shy? No, he's not.
Wow. I can't imagine that's exactly what Avery wanted. Here's Lance Thomas above the rim.
That's not shy. That's not shy at all.
Lance coming home.
I like Sir Lance a lot.
Out of Scotch Plains, New Jersey.
I asked him, I said, did you go home and get some home cooking? He said, no, my whole town will be here tonight. I said, your whole town?
Well, they got a big dose of what it looks like above the rim. And let's take a look here after the New Jersey turnover.
Well, staying active and cutting to the basket, and then the finish over the top. Way to go, Lance.
I talked about Humphries maybe being the most improved player in the NBA this season from last season. I think Thomas might be the most improved Hornet from the time he got here to now.
Good point. Very good point.
Ione off the back iron, no good. Another rebound. That's number 7 for Humphries. Here's D. Will driving straight to the rim. And he does that against everybody, folks.
Yeah. Although, Bob, it usually manifests itself in other sports maybe than basketball, but Ione has improved, and he was playing so well before that any improvement for him is more difficult because he was playing so well.
Right, we knew so little about his start here.
But you see how he has improved in terms of understanding what he's doing and how he's been a real important part of the team. So I give his improvement a lot of, although it may not be as visible,
right,
but I give it a lot of credit because he's made leaps and bounds to help become a part of the rotation.
And you know what, Gil, I'm going to give you Ione for another reason too.
Okay.
Because of the language barrier. He had much more to overcome.
Well, he didn't know he had you, though.
The translate. Not. 7 to shoot. D. Will several crossover moves. Now the dribble drive against Vasquez and the feed. Hornets strip the ball. Here comes Vasquez. Belly open 3-ball transition. Doesn't go. Thought about it a few times though, didn't it?
Yes, he did.
Here's Williams.
Not a bad shot. Not a bad shot.
Skips it to Marshawn Brooks off the dribble penetration, and he's hacked. He'll head to the line. Marco Belinelli just not on the same page with the ball here, right?
Well, I think the rim's a little kinder in New Orleans. Yeah, that's the same kind of shot that Derek Fisher.
That's inbounds now.
Yes, it is. As long as it comes back frontward, it's not out of bounds.
Here's Marshawn Brooks, a tremendous look. That's camera work, guys. Marshawn Brooks, the 25th overall pick by Boston out of Providence. And it is March Madness. You might remember Marshawn Brooks down the stretch of last season when he put up 52 against Notre Dame. He was second in the nation in scoring behind Jimmer.
52.
That's strong.
Wow.
So he's definitely a scoring guard. He's got 5, although he's missed 2 of his 5 free throws here in the first half. Kamen back on the floor, now hands off to Vasquez. They trap him. He delivers, and Ione scores.
Round the rim.
Patented reverse layup.
He's got that down. He knows how to do that. Protect the ball with the rim.
Goose has 6, and the Hornets within 5. Under 6 minutes to play in the half. Wallace back on the floor, reached high for that one. D. Will around Petro's screen. Goose off the switch. Look at that crossover. That was sweet, but the shot doesn't go.
No, he may pat it a little too much. Not a whole lot too much, but maybe just a little too much. Takes a lot out of you to pat like that.
Here's Belly, corner 3-ball,
yes.
bottom.
That's good.
And that has cut the deficit back to 2. Belinelli has 8. Ariza has 8. They're the leading scorers in the game. Hornets have been 5 of 9 from downtown. One of their best starts from 3-point range this season. But let's talk about the big fella underneath, as Ione has scored 6 for the Hornets. Got the nice feed from Vasquez and a great over-the-head look of Ione with that reverse layup. Hornets within 2.
1-5 to sign up for Hornets Alerts and your chance to win a deluxe Hornets prize pack, and it's full of Hornets merchandise, as always, courtesy of Mobart. Text Mo1 if you thought it was good. Text Mo2 if you thought it was basket interference. Mobart, one call, that's all. As the Hornets are doing some damage from the outside, you just heard Bob and Gil telling them it was a go back courtside to the guys. The other thing we'll notice, and Gil, I noticed one of your favorite stats. If I saw it correctly before coming over here, the Hornets have 16 made field goals. I believe they've assisted on 15 of those. It tells you how well the offense has been running so far in the first half.
That is outstanding. When you move the ball around that well and hit your cutters, that you got 15 assists on 16 made buckets, it means you are running your offense very efficiently.
Here's Morrow. Belly ran him off the 3-point arc, but he gets the 2. He's got 9 now off the bench.
But we'd rather have a 2-Morrow than a 3-Morrow.
Oh, boy. Under 5 minutes to go. Didn't need that.
No.
Belly to the right key, finds a wide open Jarrett Jack for 3. And Gerald Wallace got the rebound, knocked to the floor by Aminu.
You know, and you want to take the threes when they're there, and I really am fond of a 3 in transition. But you also want to be careful that you don't get caught up in shooting threes that you don't normally take because the other team shoots them, and they're going to give them to you.
Hornets have hit 5 of their 10 threes. New Jersey 3 out of 7. And New Jersey 368 made threes coming in, Jeff, second in the league. Incredible.
1,104 points in threes. 27% of their offense.
Wallace lost the handle, or was it touched? Let's see. It was apparently touched by the Hornets.
That's a lot of your offense, 27%.
You know, I'm thinking that Other than Orlando, they probably take as many or rely on as many as anybody.
Without a center that
Right.
gets double teamed inside where you have all those open looks.
Right. I mean, the theory of it is you got Lopez, and he would be the guy in the middle to kick it back out.
Yeah,
but
he's
they
just
haven't
like
had him.
he's just like Dwight Howard. That's why they're trying to get Dwight Howard. I'm just saying.
Yes, you are. Ariza with the personal, and now New Jersey's in the bonus with 4:20 still to play here in the first half. Wallace to the free throw line. Just joined the ball club after the trade deadline beating deal from Portland, and they gave up a bit. They gave up a protected first-round pick, but I believe it's only protected for the first 3 picks in the draft. And then they also sent Mehmet Okur's expiring contract to Portland. Portland now in full rebuild mode. Amazing. Firing Nate McMillan and trading 2 starters in one day.
Yeah. And it makes you wonder, did New Jersey say that we can get to the playoffs with a couple of moves?
Here's Kamen. Nice seal underneath, but misses the jump left hook. Tipped in by Goose.
See, that's why I said, he's made just enough improvement that he becomes so useful on the club, and that's an example of it.
Here's Morrow. Pulls the trigger for 2. Sheldon Williams extending the possession. Aaron Williams calls out the play. So Aaron says he's going to opt out of his contract next year, huh?
Yeah.
After this season is over with. And that reverse layup no good. Captured by Ariza.
Some suggest since it doesn't look like the Nets are going to get Dwight Howard, then he said there's no need of me hanging around. That's tough. But he's been saying that all year, though. He said at the beginning of the year he was going to become a free agent.
Kamen with a nice banker. Just his second bucket, but it's only his 3rd attempt. Hornets within 2.
I think he wants to probably get back to Texas. Huh?
You think? One of the rumored destinations?
Yeah,
Dallas?
I would think that's probably what he'd like to do.
Aaron Williams, wow. 3 ball. His second. New Jersey's 4th. And the Nets lead extended to 5.
You're going to have to guard their 3-point shooting because they do it with such frequency. It's obviously a big part of their game. So you cannot forget about it because you're knocking them down. It doesn't mean you can't defend. You can stop defending them.
Kamen again. Turn, stripped, out of bounds off New Jersey with 4.2 seconds to shoot. It'll be Hornets ball when we return. And Goose been working hard in his 18 minutes on the floor. 4 rebounds, 8 points. He got 1 rebound and 2 points on that one play. That's the way to pad your numbers, Goose. Along with you. BuzzFest pregame block party will tip things off outside at 5:30. Live music, dollar beer, interactive games for the kids, and plenty more to get you going. Why don't you go online to Hornets.com, or if you prefer, dial us at 504-525-HOOP. Order tickets for next Wednesday's matchup with the Golden State Warriors on Zephyr's Night at the Hive. Play resumes, 4.2 seconds to shoot. Belly will, a fall away against Petro. Bottom. Great shot by Belinelli, almost landed in a crowd.
Great shot is right, and the Hornets hustling and scuffling to get the ball in bounds, but they did, and get a good look.
Here's the ball poked free from Wallace, but it dribbles right to Morrow, who feeds Williams. D will hit the cutter. Petro came up short, got his own miss, hooks it up again, short. And the Hornets dodge a couple there with 2 minutes to play in the half.
Good job on the boards.
2 minutes remaining in the second
Here's
quarter.
Smith, bull fake, and Smith, a lot of contact.
Wow,
Looked
that
like
hurt.
he got a knee to the
knee.
midsection.
He got a knee.
Of all guys that take a hit in this game.
Fouls on number 27, Johan Petro.
And I don't know how inadvertent it was. I really don't.
Let's take a look.
Watch as he goes up. Watch the knee come up.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Kick the leg out.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that inadvertent. I really didn't when I first saw it. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that's exactly how I thought that play looked. Thank goodness for the slow-mo, but that's what I really thought I saw.
Jason's okay. Despite that replay and the look on his face, Jason's okay. Stays in the ball game. Sets the screen for Jared Jack. Pops into the corner. Ayone gets the ball. His pass deflected by Gerald Green into the stands. Hornets will have 8 left to shoot. And it'll be Jerry Smith who will replace Darren Williams late first half. Williams leaves with 6 assists and 8 points.
Interesting to see how he is in the third quarter after he has to sit through a halftime. I would like to have seen a Young go for that shot and not for one more pass, but I think he couldn't get a better shot than the one he had.
Ariza drives to the baseline, feeds Smith. That's his shot. Rebound, Ariza goes back up too long. Young with another offensive rebound.
Good job. This is where we see his improvement. Just getting his nose in there and helping to extend possessions. Little things.
Deuce has 5 rebounds. Here's Smith off the dribble drive, lays it up, and no good. Offensive foul on Smith.
You know, and the whistle coming late, I don't always understand why the whistle comes late. The play happened long ago. Here's the play. The whistle doesn't come until the ball rolls off the rim. I don't quite understand that.
Although it did look to be a good call.
Yeah, that's why I think you can make it right away.
Right.
Call it right away.
I'm with you. Here's Green. Goes baseline against Ariza. Got help from Smith. Almost turned it over. 5 on the clock. Humphries doubled with 1. Got it up, but it was blocked by Ione for the shot clock violation. Great help defense along the baseline for New Orleans.
We keep calling his name, don't we? We keep talking about Ione doing a little of this and a little of that. But he does the kind of plays that, one, keep you on the court. And if you stay on the court, then your opportunity to do more things present themselves.
Hornets with 61 seconds left in the half have the ball down 3. Jack, strong dribble drive, and puts it off the window and through for his 7th point of the night. Hornets were determined to score quickly on that possession.
And a good idea. You don't have Darren Williams on the floor, so take full advantage of that, huh?
There's Morrow. Feeds Gerald Green, ball fake on Jason Smith. This is a 3-ball. I'll tell you what, Gerald Green looks like a totally different ball player than the last time we saw him, which was a couple of years back. He's 4 for 5. He has 12.
Green light, green name.
Green day.
Wow.
23 seconds left. Jared Jack again off the drive. Wide open, Jason Smith. Rebound, Jared Jack. Had it knocked free and stolen by Jerry Smith. This is Green in transition. Dumps it off for Humphries, who blows the layup. Hornets ball, 6 seconds left. Got to hustle. Jared Jack to the front court. He wants 3. No. As time expires. A furious finish to the first half. New Jersey will take a 4-point lead into the locker room, 51-47. But you had a lot of good stories tonight. One of them, number 14, Jason Smith's return. Victor?
Bob, thanks so much with Fred Vincent. Fred, a back and forth first half. Pretty evenly played. Your thoughts on what you saw in the first 2 quarters?
Well, I think we're playing pretty good defense. I think it's just a matter of them making tough shots. So, we got to keep defending as we are, and at some point, some of those tough shots will start going our way.
They certainly got a boost from Green off the bench. He's got 12 already for the Nets. What do you do about him, in particularly in the second half with his outside shooting?
Well, we just got to be more aggressive, and continue to challenge the shots, and everybody got to be aware that he's a guy that's been playing very well lately. So we just got to contest the shots, and I think we'll be okay.
All right, Fred, go get him in the second half. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We appreciate him joining us. Yes, and back and forth. A lot of assists from the Hornets in the first half. Some good outside shooting early, but Green certainly has been a boost for the New Jersey Nets, coming off the bench and scoring 12. It's the New Jersey Nets that go into the half with the lead, 51-47. Back with the halftime show next on CST.